Hi, everybody. This is Susan and Jackie with Thursday Thoughts at 3.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Just if you can't tell, we both happen to be on vacation and have kind of like beach hair going on now. We're not together, but we are in the same time zone and committed to Thursday Thoughts at 3. So thank you so much for joining us. I
Yeah,
am
well,
Jacqui Atcheson, certified divorce coach and founder at Better Path to Divorce. And remember, the past has been written, but you get to write the next chapter.
and I'm Susan Greif, creative transformational expert and healing arts professional. I help my clients release old stuck energies that keep them feeling powerless, panicked, paralyzed, and in pain. I propel them to a healthy, more balanced lifestyle with a mended heart. My company is called Art Men's Hearts, and I use art as a way of seeing the subconscious so you can see where you hold your old stuck energies, and then I help you release them.
Love it, Susan. Love it. So today we don't have a guest under the circumstances. So we wanted to talk to you about why we're on vacation and what it means for us. So we are actually on vacation because we believe in self-love and self-care. And we're here with our husbands, no children, no grandchildren, enjoying some real adult time. So Susan, tell me a little bit about what this is like for you.
Well, first of all,
And
just
cheers, by the way. We owe it to
yes,
ourselves,
I'm,
girl.
I'm drinking my water.
You are very boring. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's because I had a drink before with my lunch. So.
Now this is my turn. Okay, good.
I don't know how much I can. I'm not one of those people that can drink too much, so no, not that. But anyway, you know what? First of all, husband aside, getting off the plane in the sunshine and the warmth, energy, total energy. So excited to be here. Um, being with my husband, I think what's so important about being with him is the reconnection. You know, our lives are so busy. We have children, I have work obligations, family obligations, health obligations. So sometimes, you know, we take our spouses for granted because they live with us, and days and nights go by and you forgot to say, you know, hello, how are you? So I think it's important to always find the time to reconnect with your loved ones and just always have to reignite the spark, always have to reignite um, your relationship, because you know I'm married 31 years, so you know you have the roller coaster ride. You know, sometimes great, some years are great, sometimes years aren't great, and like this is your day, and that's okay. That's life. Life is rhythmic, um, but
Mhm.
we need to take action to reintroduce sparks in our marriage
It's
or in our
true.
relationships.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's almost sometimes very important. Again, working in divorce, I see so much of what goes wrong. And while I try to help people get what's right, and in case anybody doesn't know, I've been married. I'm on a second marriage. First one was 23, going on 24 years. This one is going to be 18 years. Two long-term marriages. I believe in marriage with the right person who brings out the best in you. You can be two individuals that work together side by side to make sure each other's individual goals are met, but then always coming together because there are things that pull us all the time. So going on vacation gives you the ability to be young again, to be playful, along with what you said, Susan, the reconnection issue.
Right.
But there's something nice about being able to be playful and maybe wear an outfit that you don't worry about at home somebody running into you. Maybe it could be a little sexier. That's what I mean about playful. You can just do and be and not worry. And there's something to be said for that. It's really important. I encourage couples, even when they're alone, you know, at home with all the demands of life, one night a month, take some time to be alone. Doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. It just means be together. Not
Yeah.
to mention every night you should probably have 15 minutes to a half an hour just to talk about a day and be together. But that's what self-love and self-care, you know, really an important thing.
Right. And it's important to connect. Yeah. I mean, listen, this is about commitment. You know, Jackie and I, every Thursday, we make a commitment to being together no matter where we are, because we're here to help others and we want to empower others and share with others. And so we make this commitment to be with. So you need to make commitments with your significant other as well.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we neglect to remind our significant others how amazing and how special that person is. One of the things that my husband and I had done is, every night, like, acknowledge one wonderful thing that person did that day. Pay attention to the positive, be grateful for what the other person's done. And sometimes, control your reactions. I think it's about controlling your reactions and being negative. And also don't expect your significant other to change, because they never will. So you're going to have to make the change. You're going to be, if you want your husband to do certain things for you, you either have to do two things, either, let it go, or you make shifts and then they eventually make a shift with you. There's that ripple effect. Once you do something and all of a sudden the other person will follow through and do the same thing and work with you.
So true. It's funny you said about what somebody can't change. And it's interesting. What you see is what you get. I hate to do all these paraphrasings. My father used to do it to me. And you know what? I used to go, oh my God, he's so old. But these are out there for reasons. What you see is what you get. Leopards don't change their spots. You have to decide if this is something you can live with. Right. What are your values and what is important in your life? What are the must-haves? What are the things you can compromise on? And you can do the shift in your own brain. If you really want something, and like you said, Susan, you might have to not get it. What about if you figure out what it is you want and figure out a different way to get the result you're looking for? As an example, you can't do the same thing the same way. I mean, women have a tendency to talk too much. Let's be honest, in a relationship, and we want to get it. We want people to understand us. We want our spouse to understand us, and we say it. And then we say it again a little differently, hoping they'll get it that way, and then a little differently. How about don't say it? Figure out another way. Get creative to figure out, if it's that important to you, how to get what you want. Think out of the box. Don't you find, and you said you married 31 years, Susan. Have you thought out of the box to get certain things that were important to you?
Totally. You have to. I remember several, there was certain couples, the wives would come back and they'd be really upset because, the husband isn't listening to what they're telling them to do. And I said, you have to stop telling them what to do, because that becomes, a power struggle. And, so you can't do that. But what you can do is just figure out what you need to do. And then they'll come up with you. They'll follow up. They'll do it. So if you want your husband to, go hiking with you and he doesn't want to do it, so you're stuck at home, that's not cool. Start going hiking on your own. And then eventually they'll want to be with you and they'll join you along. So things like that.
And you know what, Susan, even if they don't, and you like company and you're social, find a friend, join a hiking club.
Absolutely.
You are responsible for your own happiness, no one else's. And see, that's another part of self-love that was started bringing it around.
Right.
Responsible for our own happiness. Everything else is a bonus in life, including the person we pick as our spouse.
And it's also about respecting what they like and what they don't like. If you like to go salsa dancing, let's just say, and your husband's not into it, sign up for a class and don't expect your husband to join you. And if your husband likes to go to football games and you're not into it, let him go with his friends. That's okay. You have to be comfortable with yourself and respect what your needs are too. So it's all about give and take. Everything in a relationship is about give and take. You have to give in. You may not like it, but you also have to, you probably want to ask. You want to be able to also receive. So it goes both ways. It's all relationships is about balance. Like I say, even like the roller coaster has ups and downs. There's duality. There's giving. There's receiving. There's love, trust, communication, and respect.
Well, I think back, Susan. I'll ask you: when you first met Kenny, were you your own person?
Oh yeah,
was he your own person? But isn't that what you loved about each other? So it is about maintaining who you were while being part of a couple.
Right.
But still keeping that couple time is so important. I go back to that. Really important.
The truth is, I did lose a little bit of my own identity in my
Mm,
earlier years because I became my husband's wife. I became my kid's mother, my parents' child, and I kind of lost me. So I remember when I went out and I started studying photography, and it's like this is about me. And I remember like writing, signing it using my maiden name. My husband's like, "Why use
mm,
your maiden name?" I said, "You know what? This is the first thing that's about me. It has nothing to do with children and my husband." And that reminded me, like, respect your own identity, your own, and like you said, there's that famous poem about marriage by Khalil Gibran, from the Prophet, and it talks about how, like, two pillars, their individual pillars hold up the foundation. Sometimes we rely on each other. It doesn't really work. It's supposed to be two independent souls who lift each other up.
correct. And also, don't walk in front of me, don't walk behind me, walk
Right.
side by side. We can go on, because
On
this
and
is
on
what
and
we
on. But it's
do.
going
I love
along.
it. I love it. But being on vacation and committing to you guys, I hope we didn't bore you too much today. But it is about self-love and self-care. And
Yeah.
we practice what we teach and preach. We really, really do. And I'm
You know
so
what we
thrilled to
love?
be able to say that. And we love what we do.
I love to hear how other people practice self-love and
Yeah.
what they do to make their marriage a bit more interesting. Once do you go out for dinner once a week? Do you get something, a new nightie? Do you buy gifts for each other? Do you do? I mean, do you just compliment each other? Do you just gaze at each other's eyes for a moment? Do
True. Well, I would love if everybody just wrote in the comment box if you're watching a little something. I'll share something my husband does for me because he's a lot nicer when it comes to this. I have to say, since the day we started living together and got married, there isn't a day that hasn't gone by when we wake up in the morning, he does two things that I've never forgotten. First thing is he looks at me and says, "You are the most beautiful woman in the world."
Oh, so nice.
Every single day. Now, I'm married 18 years. Multiply that by 365. That's huge.
It's
And he
beautiful.
brings me a cup of coffee with pleasure and delight and love in his eyes. There's a couple mornings I get my own because he's at the gym and I can't wait. And he's disappointed. He's truly disappointed that he didn't get me that cup of coffee. So that's how I start my day,
My
every day.
husband
So
always gets the coffee, so I appreciate these little things. You know,
exactly.
somebody once said, and maybe anybody can answer, would you rather get one rose a month or 12 roses once a year?
I know that answer for me.
I know the answer for me.
I know. Probably the same, Susan.
I think women in general rather be thought of like throughout the year, personally.
Absolutely.
Not about like the massive gifts,
And
but
it's
more
also
thoughtful gifts.
it's about the actions, not the
Right?
words.
That you're being thought of and cared
Mhm.
of,
A
and
simple little thing is so important. So, Susan, I think we should wrap it up
yeah.
because
Well,
self-care and self-love, we got guys waiting for us who are perfectly cool with us leaving them for a little. But I don't want to leave them too much because I'm leaving Saturday. So this is the end of my vacation. When are you
oh,
leaving?
I'm leaving Saturday night, late night.
Ah, same thing. Yes, so go, go. I insist you leave and
Okay,
go to
you
your
too. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Go snuggle and cuddle.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Susan, your turn. Do your call to action and who you are.
Did we not say that? I think I did. Anyway, if
No, we
anybody
did
wants
that on
to,
Jen Letterer. We did that last
I don't
week.
remember. No, I think I did. But anyway, follow me in Art Men's Hearts. Subscribe to the newsletters. I am offering anybody a 30-minute phone consultation. We can do an art strategy, art analysis, or strategy. Let me know. Comment below also. Remember, tell us what how you work with your husband or a significant other. See what brings excitement and sparks into your life, and maybe you might be able to help some people here.
Right, correct. And this is Jacqui Atcheson, certified divorce coach and founder at Better Path to Divorce. And I agree with Susan, 30-minute consultation by phone, in my office, by FaceTime, but it doesn't matter. But more important that you're here for us with Thursday Thoughts at 3. If there's any topics you would like, along with commenting, we would appreciate it. We do have our guest next week, right?
Yes,
Is it
Julianne.
Julianne?
Julianne is joining us.
Isabella, number one. Finally, she's making it New Jersey's number one dating coach and matchmaker. So we look
We
forward to
can
seeing
bring up
you.
this conversation again with her, you know.
We probably know nothing compared to her. So
That's true. That's true. So, guys, also we're using this as an opportunity to highlight you. So, if anybody's interested in being highlighted on our Thursday thoughts at 3, when we do our carpool therapy, please ask send me a private message, or Jacqui private message. We'll send you a survey to fill out.
take care, guys. Have an awesome and amazing weekend. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.